Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're playing City Skylines again today. I could sit here and watch this freeway all day. It's interesting watching the traffic come around and the noises and the people, and oh, it's great. I love it. You can see kind of our skyline in the background now. That's the high interest tower. That's a neat looking building. And that's the transport tower. I gotta download some interesting buildings from the workshop and put, there's so many of them on there right now. Tons and tons and tons. An issue that came up yesterday, I'm sure a lot of you have heard if you've been following the Steam news, is that Valve has decided to allow mod makers to start charging for mod downloads. And they've only applied this so far to Skyrim, but slippery slope here, guys. I bet we're going to see it soon for other games. I know that Totally Moo has come out. He's the community manager for City Skylines and said that it won't be happening for cities, and that's good. I support that 100% at this point. You can imagine how many people would be charging for their little upgradable buildings and whatnot. It would just be a mess for this game anyway. Now for Skyrim, some mods there, you know, there's been so much work put into them that I wouldn't mind actually seeing people charge for their work that they've done. I mean, some of the mods in Skyrim add whole new chapters and areas and storylines. Some of them are voice acted, for crying out loud. Like, they've put in so much work that you think, you know what, maybe this person does deserve to be paid a little bit for their efforts, you know. And in the past, mod developers just did this because that's what they wanted to do. It was something that interested them. Maybe they were looking at a career in the game development field and thought, hey, I might as well practice my craft doing some mods and people will enjoy it. And I can see that, and now, you know, it's leaving a bit of a bad taste in some people's mouths that people are charging for mods now, and frankly, I can see both sides of this argument, and I'm going to take a wait and see approach on this one and just see what happens with it. The mods that are for sale right now, frankly, are probably not worth the price. There's some weapons and armor sets and stuff that people are charging for. There's one, apparently the guy doesn't even own the mod and he's charging for it, which is, you know, it's going to have to get curated a little bit better, and I hope Valve is prepared to do that and not just leave it to people to file complaints. But in any event, it's a new thing. You know, once upon a time, people didn't get paid to do YouTube videos either. So, well, hey, if you guys have an opinion on it, let me know. I can see both sides of the argument at this point, and I'm gonna wait and see how this goes, because on the one hand, we've always had mods for free. It was almost impossible to charge for them because people would just pirate it in any event. But on the other hand, you're going to get some pretty decent mods being created if people think they can make a return on it. Just saying, we might get some better quality content. In any event, let's leave it at that for the day. We got some work to do on our city, and I mentioned this a couple episodes ago that I wanted to work on our public transport system a little bit, because we have some major congestion with public transport at this point. And part of that had to do with this, for God knows what reason, when I went into the metro lines, this line was deleted. I don't know how that ever happened. I'm sure somebody noticed that eventually in one of my episodes and thought, you know, where's that line? But I didn't see it. And when I went in here today, there was no line. So let's see how busy that one is. It's a fairly busy line. It's as busy as the yellow metro is. And this is an express between these two areas, or three areas, I guess. Yeah, it wasn't there, so that was probably contributing a lot to our metro backup, or our bus backups, because our bus lines were just getting hammered. But let's take a look. Let's overview our bus lines a little bit. We have this one on the exterior, which I don't mind this one at all, actually. It services kind of this edge area. We've got this one that is apparently trying to serve this entire place, and I don't think it's actually accomplishing that at this point. It's really missing out on these guys. I don't think that they're going to walk that far to a bus. Maybe they would. I don't know. There's not a very good pedestrian pathing through here, so even if they wanted to grab a bus right here, they'd have to walk, let's see, all the way down here, around the block, and back. They're never going to walk that far. I have to work on pedestrian pathing. This is a big job, and in order to make it manageable, I'm going to work on one small area at a time. And if I, manage to efficiently accomplish that for the day, then we'll move on to another area. But for the time being, I'm going to work on this area. And I like the blue line. I'm not going to change the blue line. It's a nice expressway between sort of the midtown area and this residential area. You could transfer over to this interior line if you wanted to get closer to home. But this orange line here is not good. And we're going to fix this because I just don't think that it's accomplishing what it's setting out to do. I think the key to this is that we need to run this kind of along this edge. And then maybe once through here and back this way. But we need to find a way to get up onto this road here. So if we came up here, no, we can't get back because this is the only connection on this side. Where else could we go? We could go up this road and back down this way and out. And how close is that? I think we're going to need to make it come fairly close to the red line so that if people want to go further downtown on the bus, they could transfer over to the red line. I like the way that the red line and the orange line don't intersect with each other too much because, as you can see, up here in this area, we have a lot of bus lines. We have the purple, the green, the yellow, and we've also got somewhere along here this mauve color intersecting with all of these as well. When you put lines that are so close together with one another, they're going to create some inadvertent traffic flows of bus backups, and that defeats why we're putting buses there in the first place, doesn't it? So we need to put the lines close together but not necessarily overlapping unless they're coming to the central core public transport hub. We also need to think about which bus lines do we need to come down to the transport hub. Certainly the green is one that should be coming here because this services the northern area of the city. It comes up here and really it probably should allow a transfer bus line that comes over here, but we'll think of that eventually. The purple line, which right now is the busiest line, and you would think that's because it's such a great line. No, it's just huge. I don't know what I was thinking when I made this line. It is massive. Look at how big the purple line is. It services this entire area. It also comes downtown. And it comes way, way over here. Why did I make it like this? I have no idea. So, yeah, the purple line is busy. And you'd say, hey, it needs to come into the bus station. But it's probably the size factor that's making that one so backed up. Yellow bus line is, again, very, very big line. And I think that we need to trim that back down just a touch. What I want to do is kind of make a chain link. So you've got a shorter line that connects to another line that connects to another line. And hopefully by 3 bus transfers, the person's gotten to where they want to go. Let's have a look at these lines first. Orange line does not make sense. So we need to get rid of that line. And the easiest way to do that is come into our improved public transport UI. Click on that and delete it. And just so we don't inconvenience people too much, we'll pause the game. And I think, as we said, we want to get down into this area nicely. And we want to get up into this. But we also want to come over here. And in order to make this extremely convenient for people, I think that we need to have a pedestrian path here. And I don't see any. We need a few pedestrian paths to be coming from this road onto this big road here. Let's choose a few spots. We're going to have to break a few eggs to make this omelet, but I think I'll take out this building, and we'll put a pedestrian path right in here. We've got all these custom assets now that are clogging everything up. So let's I want to make this kind of straight, which is not really working too well. Well, that'll do. Okay. So we've got one there. Let's think. How far over do we want to go with another one? Not too far. I don't want to make people walk too far. Let's go another one here. Okay. And let's see the spacing there. Okay, let's make another one right about there. Make another one right there. Although I like that building I just demoed. That's too bad. We gotta go in the middle one then. Okay, and I think one more should do the trick, or we had enough. No, I think that's enough. That should be plenty enough for what we need to do. So let's think about this for a second. We want to make the bus line on this side of the road only and come back down into this area. So why don't we do that first? And let's start our bus line right about there. Now, where are the pedestrian paths? There's one there and there's one there. So it's kind of in the middle. We could do another one in the middle. And let's do one right around the corner. Now, do we want a pedestrian path here? I bet we do. So let's plan this out though. If we put a stop right at the end of the block and we put a pedestrian path right in the center, I think that would do it just fine. Now, we want to come down into this area. So let's do that. Let's put one closer to the end of this. And we'll put one right near the edge of this block. And how close do we want this? I think that's a good stop there. You don't want to separate these too much, but we also don't want them one after another. That's a little close. There's a good one there. Now, how do we want to come back? Do we want to double back on ourselves, or do we want to come out this way and come down? I think we want to come up, go through here, and then swivel back around, and we can end our route right where we started, right there. Does that sound... That sounds reasonable, I think. But we kind of miss this area if we do that, don't we? We really do bypass that if we... And really there's other bus stops around there. So I think maybe instead we will come up this way. We'll put 2 stops on that, and I think I'll put a pedestrian path right through the center of this. Not too many stops in this, because this is low density. There's not going to be a ton of people in there. Put one right by this pedestrian path. We don't need a bus stop here, because that's already serviced by another one. So let's put another one on the other side of the pedestrian path. And then, do we do one more? Let's do one more before we finish this off. That's fairly close to the last one, though, isn't it? You know what? I think that'll be good enough. So this was formerly the orange line. Which one is this on here now? So let's make this the orange line. And okay, so we needed a couple pedestrian paths, didn't we? We wanted to put one in here. So let's get our bulldozer out. We'll take out this building and this one because it's nice and central. Turn, I want that a little curved. Yeah, that's not going to cooperate apparently. We could de-zone this little bit there, and let's put a couple little shrubs in there just to keep it decorative. There we go. Okay, and then the other place I said I wanted a pedestrian path was where? Where did I say it? In this bit here. So we're going to do that. We'll get rid of that guy and that guy. And we will put a path right on through there. One that hopefully doesn't demo another house. There we go. Nice and convenient. Okay, so now all these people can get up to a bus stop here. Let's just have a look at our bus stop once again. So now we service this area, and these people can grab either this stop or come up to this stop or this stop because of the pedestrian path. We've got some servicing to the higher density over here by this stop or this one. We swing past the high density in here, and we go through the low density with 2 stops. This one's probably excessive, but whatever. I think that's fine. People in here, are they going across the street? Probably. People here may come up to this one. If they don't come to that one, they could always go through pedestrian path and come to this side. And same with here, lots of pedestrian path connections. And we come very close to the red route connection, but not do we come close enough. People will cross the street and go up to red. I bet that will happen. Let's speed this up and see if we can watch some of the transferring. I think these guys have to go back to the bus depot to reset before they get on the line, but let's just watch. Or they could just sit there for several days and not move at all. Are they stuck? What's happening here? Would have expected buses to be able to get to the line quicker than that. It looks like they're going back to the bus depot or something. I don't know. It was these buses that were on the line before. Let's just go into this overlay view. It's a little bit easier to work with. Yeah, still no buses on the route. Okay, here they're coming back down now. So they need to go to the bus depot apparently to exchange their color and then come back. So the stop I wanted to watch was this one to see if we would get people transferring to red. So let's see. We've got lots of orange. Let's wait until a bus unloads and then we'll follow the people. So let's I'll slow down as soon as an orange bus comes to unload. Okay, that one just picked up. Oh, they're all getting on the route now, so we might have to let this run just a bit. I think this guy's coming from the route, yep. So as soon as he goes, we'll slow down here just a bit. And I just want to follow these people that get off and see if any of them go over to the red line, because I think that they will. I think it's close enough. So we've got, let's follow, say, this guy. Where's he going? He's going shopping. It doesn't say whether he's going to take the bus line, though. Let's follow this group. Some of them did stay there, so we can still follow them. Boy, it's hard to tell if they're going to transfer. I would imagine that this is close enough to do a transfer. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm assuming it is, because they walk a well greater distance than this. Very regularly. How's our bus line doing? The stats aren't quite updated yet. We'll have to let it run just a little bit. Let's see if any of the stops are over busy. So that one's okay. That guy looks okay. This one's not busy at all. Very few people on that. We can consider removing that stop. This one, that's okay. That's a busy stop there, as I would expect it to be. Nice busy stop there. Oh, that's a big one. Okay, lots and lots of people there. Oh, by the way, I looked into the bus capacity and transport capacity increase mod, and the bus capacity was a little bit high. I looked up how many people can fit on a bus, and it seems to be between 55 and 65 people for the bigger buses, and the mod had 90 people on a bus. There may be some buses that can do that, like the accordion buses that have the bend in the middle. Maybe they can hold that many people, but a regular bus isn't going to hold 90 people, and I don't want to be cheaty. You know, I don't want to be cheating in the game just for convenience. If there's a config way that I can config it back down to 65 people, I'll download the mod, because I think 30 is a little light for a bus. I know that even just regular buses, school bus, you can fit 30 people on, and that's a tiny bus. So if I can configure it to 65 people, I'm going to download it, and I think I can do that actually. But I'll look into that again. This bus stop, okay, I like it. Blue has always been a busy one. Oh boy, excuse me. Where is this bus stop? There's not even a thing there. There's not even a bus stop thing. Isn't that odd? Well, people got out there anyway. Is it just the sign? Usually they have a covered thing. Don't all the bus stops have a covered thing? Does this one? No, it's just a sign too. Interesting. I didn't realize that some of them did and some of them didn't. Well, that's kind of we learn something new every day. I thought they all had the covered things, but I guess they don't. I haven't been paying attention apparently. Okay, so any bad stuff? No, that's fine too. Whoa, what's where are we here? I completely lost track of where we were. Yeah, so like some of them have the covered thing and others don't. I guess that's a thing. Covered thing. Covered thing. I wonder what determines whether they do or do not have that. So that guy's got it. That guy's got one. And yet when we come into here, they don't. I wonder if it has something to do with the type of street that it's on. Like if it's a residential street, like one of the small streets, then there's no covering. That seems to be a good hypothesis at this point, because I'm not seeing any on these interior roads. Yeah, I think that might be what determines it. So if it's on a quiet little two-way street, then it just gets a sign. And yeah, be interesting to see. Like can I route quarry this guy and see where he's going? Or yeah, I guess I can. So he lived here and he's gonna catch the bus. And where's he going to? He's gonna go here. And looks like he might get off there and transfer to a different bus. Which bus would he pick up on this street? None. There isn't a bus on that street. So he must be walking from that point forward. Looks like he'll get off there. Okay, so hey, we fixed this bus line. I like this much better. It's a local line, and I think we're gonna get good results from that. I think we'll get fairly good results. 41% of trips saved. That's a pretty efficient line. Pretty efficient line. Okay guys, we're coming up on 24 minutes. I think I'm going to call that a day. We're going to continue working on some bus lines in the future. I don't know if next episode, maybe, depends on how I feel, what I want to do. But I think we're going to get some really good results with traffic out of optimizing these lines and making sure that we've got really darn good public transport connections through our city. So, guys, if you liked the video, give me a like below. I always appreciate that. And if you haven't so far, please subscribe. We're coming up on 70 subscribers at this point. I'm so pumped about it. Channel's growing. I'm finding my groove as far as doing videos, I think, anyway. So, guys, until next time, we'll see ya. Bye-bye.